My only thing is like I don't know why it's not more widespread. Why those companies who maybe it's some sort of a conspiracy theory that they have is like they want you to use more tokens. They want you to waste more tokens, so that's why some of those utilities are not.
That's right. Nice point.
But they promise, like most of those companies, they promise that it will be cheaper. Like Anthropic or OpenAI, they are promising that their things will be cheaper. They will use less processing. So like that kind of things should be actually by default. They should think of it more. I was playing with your app. Sorry, with your utility. It's more like of a utility for AI coding yesterday. I don't really run it myself, so I hope you will do it today. But I thought it was pretty cool. So I was actually impressed yesterday. So if you can actually, tell us about yourself and what your thing is, so I'm not really misrepresenting your idea, your creation.
So MIKK is basically, let me show you what the other IDEs does is when AI wants a context about your code base, like let's say it's about a Next.js project or something, any project, TypeScript project. So AI does is it indexes all files and folders for the context to get full overview about the project, what it does, and all the relationship between the functions and everything. So what the problem is, there are many files which is not need to be indexed, and there are many it takes much time for indexing all files, and it uses many tokens for AI. So it is not that fast, and so I built MIKK, which is all static analysis. There is nothing AI used here. There are so many nerdy algorithms are there. I basically vibe coded it. I have an idea, so I brainstormed with the Claude, and I implemented it with the Claude itself. It basically parses. There is a library called TypeScript Compiler by TypeScript itself. So natively, it parses all the functions and function names, body, and what it does and everything, and imports, exports everything, and it builds a dependency graph, like what is dependent on what, and it generates a graph, like we can traverse on the graph that what is dependent on what and everything. And it also includes very detailed graph. Like let's say I have this test project, I want to initialize MIKK. Okay, I'll just go ahead and MIKK. So it is already initialized, so I use force for reinitializing. It will go through every file and configs, and it will generate many things. Suppose let's say it is there is a mick.ignore to ignore some files like node modules, which is not to be included in the dependency graph. It also generates mick.json, which is not that big. It just gives the index, means starting points and everything. All the index files is the starting points of the every project, and all the declared modules like hooks and everything, utilities, APIs and everything. There are many things here, but it's small. But you see here, it is very big, and it includes almost everything detailed. It hashes all the functions and create a hash for every function, and it also includes imports and exports and everything. How much things it imports? Like this is the graph. And
so it's showing all the connections.
Also, yes. Yeah. I also have built MCP server for MCP.
No.
So MCP is like middleman for AI. We have to copy the context. I want to give the context of this file, so I will Control A, Control C, and then give it to the AI. So it is not like agentic AI. It is humanized. So MCP, what MCP does is it provides tools like to giving context. MCP does for you. You don't have to copy and files. It have tools like read file. So AI will call the read file tool through MCP server, and it will read all the files. So it is concept by Anthropic. It is standard protocol for giving context for AI by giving tools.
So basically what you did so far, you scanned your Next.js project, yes? Or was it Next.js or something? And then it gave you...
Yeah, any
so
project, any TypeScript project.
Yeah, obviously. So the mick.json is the main file that's supposed to like give all the like list of the functions or all the libraries that are used by this project. Yes. And then like
Yes.
let's say it's I'm AI agent. What do I do with it? Like how do I actually, like, how do I know what to do with it?
So and this was the CLI, and if you want to use it, you can open the chat. And so I'll tell it, you need update auth function using mick and use mick before edit. Currently, I didn't have given the context about the mick, so it don't know the tools it has. It can use. So I have to give explicitly. VS Code gives, this is MCP servers. It can have multiple MCP servers. This is my mick server. It can use these commands for starting MCP server. So if you go ahead and use this, it will call the tools it have automatically if it wants to. Let me show you all the tools it have. There are many tools for searching. Mick context, query context means mick query and then the thing you want to get knowledge about. Impact analysis means if you change this file and how many nodes are being affected. If you want to search a specific functions, not the whole file, you can search it, and it includes the exact location and which line it starts. So it is very fast for AI to go and read the function instead of reading whole file. Our MCP also have the feature before edit, means if you change something, the AI agent must call before edit so that it can get the context about what will be affected if you change this file. How many nodes are being affected. So it protects, it have the constraints so to protect the code structure and architecture of the project so that nothing goes wrong. That's the main thing of the mick.
Are you aware of other utilities that would do that stuff, or is it like quite unique?
Yes. Let me show you. There is a project which is similar to this, just like this, and it is just like this coding intelligence. It gets repository one of the day, and it is very nice. But I also have this project only, but I have more features like of this, and it is faster too. My mick is also faster than, and some better algorithms is used in mick than this git access. I compare it using Claude. I also clone this repository for comparison.
So can you like show how you would work with it with your mick? Like let's say you want to change something, like you give your agent quite vague description of something. So how it will actually run with it? Can you show it?
It is just using MCP only. Mainly, you will usually use with MCP server.
I don't know what MCP server is.
Sorry,
I don't know what MCP server is. So if you can explain that.
It's just like, when you type something in agent, it goes and search for tools and automatically get functions and everything.
Yeah.
It's just MCP server.
Oh, okay, I get that.
It's just calling tools.
Yeah.
For getting contacts. I have my own MCP server which gives the result in my way. So I have my own MCP. I have my own personalized context provider. So it is very optimized, and it gives specific function. It can give specific functions rather than reading whole files. And there are many more features in it.
So can you like implement something? Can you make it work with Claude or something?
I also have a daemon. So what it does, it watches the whole folder and watch for the changes it does, and it can directly give for AI for the context about it. So this is the test product on which the watcher is watching the code. So let's say I changes this one file, it directly changes the graph, and it knows by the change the hash get changed and update the graph, and it also detects how many impacts is there. Like I undo it, it gets updated. So the AI can run here. You can just use M server. So there is one thing I didn't implement it, that giving context to this agent so that it can know what tools it have to use. So it can call automatically without any human interaction. You understand? It can call automatically, and before any editing, it can just get the context about the thing it wants. Yeah, it get the function. Yes, it is calling. It just called mick analyze before editing auth/slice.ts.
Yeah, okay.
So it get all context about if it edit auth.slice.ts, what will be infected, what file will be infected in JSON format.
Yeah, okay.
So it just edited this and the graph will be changed again.
So basically now we would expect Claude to just go through like each file. Without MIKK, it would just like go and look for it in the project, go through this file, search for, oh, where's my auth function, where is this, where is that, and then instead he just goes to the MIKK, he finds a auth function, he looks into that. Like it's a, instead of searching through entire files, it's just looking through one file, MIKK itself. Yes, like there's this mick.log, so it's looking there. Yes.
What do you think about it? Is it a good project?
I think, like, you know, the thing is, like, I'm not, as you can see, I'm kind of like, I'm not the best AI agent programmer, you know. I think there are better people for that, for Claude and stuff. So I'm much more of a traditional programmer with some AI tools. So I'm still learning, but like I'm surprised that, let's say, Anthropic or like the other ones, Microsoft didn't think of that kind of feature. If you have a project and if you want to bring the project to our thing, there should be like a set of steps that you should do in terms of like to index your files, to index your functions. So like that kind of utility, I'm actually surprised, to be honest, that they are so slow to actually come out with those kind of features. Because one, I think it's saving a lot of computing power of AI agent. It doesn't have to like look through all of that, analyze all of that. It has much less to analyze, basically. And I'm guessing, like, obviously it's not going to always do like a magical fix, you know. It might still go back to those files and look more if it doesn't find in this MIKK file. But in 80% or 90% of situations, it will actually use that. And that's probably going to improve. One, it's going to improve like speed of how long it takes to do most of the prompts, especially ones that are very generic. And when you don't really give it like a specific file, because usually I try to give it like a, you know, point it to the right place. But if you don't do it, it's just gonna browse through the entire project. So like then it's like a time saving here. But also I'm actually surprised that there are no, you know, those utilities are not much more widespread. I think they should actually implement that in Copilot or something, like, or it should be like standard way of working. Copilot, anti-gravity should have that kind of utilities. And I'm not only saying about this utility, but there should be something that, you know, looks for like specific files and stuff. So far, most of it is about, okay, if you have your project setup.md, there are a bunch of MD files that it's supposed to go there and learn from that. But like this is actually like, I think this is a step further, basically. Someone is saying that he looked at your project, it seems to be cool, but I think main area where you fail is advertising. It's not clear what it does. Maybe think about adding something like what the work is. Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's also something that I always do badly myself, but like I was actually missing the part where you would show like, okay, how you actually implement a thing, you know? And you could show like, okay, I'm doing something very generic, like a not very direct change, and I just give a MIKK to that, and it will actually, you know, speed it up. And you, like, if you show, what you could do is actually show two screens. You show an example where you're actually working on it. It's actually better, and on the two screens you have with and without MIKK, and like it would be, for me it would be obvious that it's like, whoa, this is a huge improvement. I feel like this is missing, you know, this is missing in Copilot, anti-gravity, wherever the other one from Anthropic. It should be there, because like it's so wasteful, those technologies, you know.
It didn't know all the project structure. It always crawl every files and everything for finding it. It just expect it to be relevant.
Yeah,
it does not know full context about it.
Yeah, so like promote it more, dude. Like just work on it. I think it's a great library. I hope it will make you rich, to be honest. I hope, you know, Anthropic or one of them will actually catch it and start using it, you know, because I think, yeah, as I'm saying, it's missing, and it's probably costing them a lot of money, and us, because we just use more tokens on that stuff. If it's gonna save like 20 or 30% of compute for the search, or maybe 10% even, it's a huge, you know, huge saving. So yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm trying to market it everywhere. I have posted it on X, I have written blogs about it, I have read it in Hacker News and everything.
It has, like, yeah, as I'm saying, I'm just surprised it's not there, you know. Someone is saying if you can add on your website that people would gain. Yeah, I think like that kind of stuff, you know, you're saving you are saving 20 seconds on each prompt, or you're saving 10% of tokens on each prompt. I think that kind of thing would actually be closer to what I think. Yeah, like
that means benchmarking.
Yeah, if you can benchmark it, and like it doesn't have to be like super precise, but you can just do like, you know, 20 or 50 prompts and see like where's the difference. I think like I'm a big believer in videos, you know, and especially before and after, or you know, with or without. Those are actually very useful. And like when I see that kind of stuff, this talks to me. My only thing is like I don't know why it's not more widespread. Why those companies who like maybe it's some sort of a conspiracy theory that I have, is like they want you to use more tokens, they want you to waste more tokens, so that's why, you know, some of those utilities are not.
That's nice point.
But they promise, like most of those companies, they promise that it will be cheaper. Like, you know, Anthropic or OpenAI, they are promising that their things will be cheaper. They will use less processing. So like, you know, that kind of things should be actually by default. You know, they should think of it more. That kind of utilities, like, you know, and anything that can save amount of tokens and it can get you further. This might just mean that you will build more with that, and like, I don't know. But like, you know, in one hand, I think like they're also making money on you wasting tokens. So maybe not always it's actually a best for business. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what's, you know. Also, like although like if there is a feature like that, if let's say Anthropic or, you know, anti-gravity does it in their IDE, like all of them will implement it. They will just have to. So like if one of them will try to have an edge and they will say, yeah, we are saving you 10% on your whatever, on your every prompt, just with this utility, then all of them will do that. So yeah, I really hope you will get success with that, because it looks like a very useful feature, very useful tool. And I will actually get it running on my machine. Yeah, and yeah, I think, you know, good luck with getting it out there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and good idea. Yeah, so good luck. Thanks for that. I'm gonna finish for now. And if you progress, if you get further with it, you know, when you have some releases, let me know. We can come back and just show it again.
Yeah, sure.
Let's just plug my Discord. There's more than 50 people now. You can join, you can fill up this form on my Discord channel, and this is basically if you are interested in working on some projects with people from the Discord list. You know, I ask people to say what they are good at, what's their availability, what they're interested in working on, and yeah, like I will try to get them running on some project, and I hope it will be successful as well. So it's good for experience, and I hope they will make money, you know, and I will be helping them to actually push it forwards, promote it, and the other stuff like that. So I hope you will get success on that. But like if you're interested in working, you go to the Discord page, it's on the top here, and there's a link to Google Forms where just, you know, you can say like what are you strong on and what's your availability.